What's up, y'all? Back with another video. Today, I want to talk about the destination is not the whole reward. What I mean is, once you get to whatever fitness goal that you want to get to, whether you want to build more muscle or lose more fat, look more aesthetic, whatever it is, there isn't really an end goal. Because a lot of people have the mindset of once I get to this particular physique that I want, then I can just do whatever. And they think it's just gonna maintain itself. And they think that's it. I reached the goal and now I can just do whatever. They don't realize the habits that they have to quit out, or stop doing in order to reach that goal or maintain it, even when they get there. Because you become a different person actually. You start looking at things you never noticed before. You start being more mindful of the things that you're eating. And that in and of itself changes you as a person in a good aspect, because a lot of times you take those same aspects into other areas of your life as well. You start evaluating certain stuff, certain people, certain things that you're doing, certain things that other people are doing. Is this going to be beneficial long term? A lot of people put so much emphasis on getting to the end goal, they don't realize the person that they have to become to even reach that in the first place. And that's why a lot of people, quit before they get there, because they want it now and it's not coming quick enough, and they don't realize the daily changes that they have to make that's going to really set them apart from everybody else. Like I myself, I didn't get to this physique or this point of my fitness journey and not change anything or just wish upon a star or just change one thing. It's just little things over time that I had to change and adjust and tweak. And not everybody's going to be the same. Certain people might have to change, more or less things here or there. Some people have to work more of their intensity in the gym. Certain people have to watch more of what they eat, because somebody could be eating clean, and not really do the proper workout, so they'll lose some of the weight, but they still look flat. They still have soft. They don't have any kind of definition because they don't have the right intensity. And a lot more people put more emphasis on the workouts, and so they think that just because they work out hard and don't pay too much attention to the calories that they're doing, that they're supposed to just automatically be in shape because they work out so hard that they think they can outperform and outwork a bad diet. And that's not how it works. Because even if you're making slow progress, let's just say, oh yeah, I know I'm not going to be able to just change everything quick. So you just start with, maybe I'm gonna substitute one of my fast food meals with a healthy meal at home, and that'll be like your one healthy meal. And guess what? Over time, you become used to that. Guess what? You can up it to 2 or so. Let's say I'm gonna cook more often. I'm gonna set aside some time here, and I'm gonna make something real simple. Maybe some rice that doesn't take long, and maybe just season up some chicken or some fish or something, put it in the oven, or however what's going to be healthy and stuff. And you can just do laundry in the meantime, or you can just do something else in the meantime, so you're not standing there watching the food thinking it's taking up a whole bunch of time. You can make things simpler than what a lot of people tell you to do. You don't have to make 2 weeks worth of food that's going to take a whole bunch of time. And where a lot of people mess up at is that they make systems more complicated because they're not used to sticking with a regimen. I'm not saying you got to eat the same thing every day. I switch it up like every 3 days or so. It's my average. I have food. I usually make it for like every 3 days or so. I eat the same thing, and then I switch it up to something else. Some people, they think that I want to have a different thing for every meal every day because their brain has such a short attention span Even when it comes to being healthy, I gotta switch everything up real quick. I can't eat the same thing 2 days in a row or so. And that's where they mess up at, because realistically they're not gonna spend all that time cooking a whole bunch of different things, and they were like, oh, eating healthy takes up too much time. Well, guess what? You eating that fast food is going to take up even more time than it is to prep for you trying to get to your goals than it is time for you to cook the meals. Again, I'll use myself as an example. You're doing your workout, you're changing certain things, and you might not think you're making that much progress, because guess what? You see yourself every day. What most people do, they have a mirror or some sort before they head out to work or what have you. They usually see themselves every day in a mirror at least once a day. So to you, it's not going to seem like you're making much progress. But somebody else might notice that haven't seen you in a while. They're going to be like, oh, you look like you lost some weight, or you done bulked up. What you been doing? And you might not think that you're making much progress, because they don't see you they might not see you every day. But let's just say the progress is like a drop in the bucket. You make a consistent drop in the bucket. Eventually that bucket's gonna get full. So a lot of people quit out is because they don't think they're making enough progress, because humans are creatures of habit. We don't just all of a sudden, not everybody can just, hey, I'm gonna quit cold turkey doing this, I'm gonna start doing this, and just change everything all at once. And usually when they do, they burn out, because they haven't really fully adjusted, and they're trying to go strictly off willpower instead of creating a system that works and slowly adjust things over time. Because there's an adjustment period. It's just like working a new job. You might not be comfortable with whatever task you're doing. You might not know things by heart. You might not be used to doing certain things, and then you got a certain amount of time to do it. And it's going to start off sometimes kind of rough. But guess what? Once you become repetitive and do it over time, the job becomes easier. Even with just learning your route to work. A lot of times we get to work and don't even realize how the hell we even got there. We just turn on some music or listen to a radio show or what have you. Next thing you know, you pulling up at work. You're like, damn, I don't even realize how I got there. Fitness is the same way. Once you start getting used to a routine and you do it every day consistently, and then you're going to look in the mirror one day, oh man, my arm's starting to, I start seeing a cut right here or something. It might start with something simple as that, because you kept up the habits every day consistently. And so what used to be something you have to really think about, even your food choices, you might have to put real effort into choosing, like, oh man, I'm used to getting this, but now I have to start, eating like this, or so. And it might be tedious at first because you're not used to doing it, but then when you become used to doing it, it's become like second nature. You don't even think about it. Yeah, let me order such and such. Or you go to the grocery store, you're picking up certain things in your cart and you don't even realize it. And you don't compare yourself. Once you start being consistent, people are not comparing themselves how they were yesterday. They look at over the compound, it's like compound interest. They look at how they were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year, 2 years before, and they look at the progress that they've made in that span of time. Just because you see yourself every day, to you, you're trained to see yourself in a certain way. And a lot of people, they don't become used to the person that they'll become, like the mindset wise. Their physical would change before their mental. So they still see themselves as a person as they were before. And, they become a little bit self-conscious. I went through the same thing. Like, I wear something like this. And other people, they might have something to say, like, oh, you're trying to show off or whatever. Versus when I was out of shape and I wear the same thing, people wouldn't even think twice. So like, oh, because subconsciously, when you start getting in really good shape, you become a minority, because most people aren't. I'll be dead honest. They're serious. Most people on planet Earth are not in shape. So, because the world itself, especially when it comes to places like the United States, we've become so dopamine focused that anything that is an instant seems like if you're able to do anything that isn't instant gratification, that takes time to achieve, you become an anomaly. Because I'm gonna be honest, the body is just a physical representation of the habits you chose to quit, or the habits you chose to, the good habits you chose to continue doing or picked up. And it's not because those people just said, hey, I'm just gonna change this, and this, and then it happens quick. Because just like building muscle in the gym, the discipline muscle takes time as well. Yeah, you might have a day or two where you didn't stick to whatever calorie deficit, or you might miss a gym session, but a lot of people spend more time dwelling on the things they messed up on versus just getting back on track and just doing what they need to do. Just pretend it never happened. Just get back on track. You know what you need to do and just stick to it. So, because a lot of people think, man, I messed up. Well, I might as well keep messing up because I already started the process. And then now they're digging themselves in a deeper and deeper hole. And then when they do try to get back on track, it's going to be even a longer time just to break even from where they were and mess up versus, especially where they're trying to go. But by you making those small adjustments day by day, even just the one extra healthy meal, and then you start upping it to two, you're already ahead of most people because you realize not only that you know you need to change, you actually took action to change it. So you start building healthier habits. And what happens when you start doing it consistently? Like I said, it becomes a habit. So you do it automatically. It doesn't take as much thought process to accomplish to do those things. And you start building consistency. And when you start building consistency, that's when you start getting the results. And guess what? Other people are going to notice it too. So don't put so much emphasis on just the end goal. Don't just fall in love with the end result. Fall in love with the person that you're going to become on your way to your goal. And know those little small wins add up. And that's when you're going to see the real progress over all those small wins over an extended period of time. And that's why I emphasize body game so much, because all body game is just achieving the best body that you can achieve. And a lot of y'all sell yourselves short because you can achieve a lot more than you think you can. It's just you haven't put in any action to produce any results. But once you start putting towards the action and you do it consistently, hey, the body that you want is inevitable. You already know what you need to do. You just haven't applied what you know to get a result that you want. That's all it is. It's just a lack of taking action. And even if you need some help, and I know especially as guys, we'd be afraid to ask for help in certain things. We just try to figure it out on our own. Shit, I needed help at one point. Just staying on track, doing what I need to do to stay consistent. And a lot of you guys might fall into the same boat, same category. So if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if it's not me, you can go get a coach. You can go get somebody who knows more than you do that has the results that you want to get to where you need to be. And if you do decide you want me as your coach, you can just contact me on my Instagram. I'm gonna have the description down below and the bottom. You can just hit me up. It's gonna be bodygame_dynamics on Instagram. And you can just hit me up anytime. I'll respond to all the messages. Anybody who's willing to get in shape, and we can set up a call to see if we're good to work together. If you're really serious about getting in shape and getting to where you need to be, and you just need somebody, holding you accountable, checking to make sure you're doing the workout, what's your calories and all of that stuff, and help you for better methods to make it, a lot simpler. Hey, just contact me on my Instagram. And that's all I got for today, guys. And like I always say, you only live once. You might as well look good living it. I'll see y'all in the next one.